Okay, hello everyone. So, in this given opportunity, we would like to present our material about introduction to semantics. But before we start our presentation, let us to introduce ourselves first. So, my name is Ninengah Dina Juliani with student number 221-2021039. And there are also my friends here.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicole Mangwindu and my student number is 221-202-1038.
Hello everyone, that's Aprilia with student number is 221202104.
And hello everyone, my name is and my student number is 221202147.
Okay, that's our brief introduction. So, without any further ado, let's start the presentation. Well, in this given opportunity, we have a topic discussion. So, semantics consists of two branches. First branches is word semantic, and second branches is sentence semantics. And in word semantic also consists of two branches. First is reference, and second is sense that consists of synonym, antonym, hyponym, homonym, polysemy, and meronymy. And then the second branches of semantic, that is sentence semantics, consists of three branches. First is proposition, second is entailment, and last but not least is predicate logic. So for the next presentation, will be continued by my friend Sarah. Sarah, time is yours.
Okay. Semantic is the study of meaning. Next, okay. The first is words. Word semantic have two branches. There are reference semantic and sense semantic. Semantic is there are synonym, antonym, homonym, polysemy, and meronymy. Next. Okay, what is reference semantic? Semantic is the relationship between nouns or pronouns and objects that are named by them. I examine reference. I will show you a diagram of meaning or what semiotic triangles. Next. Okay, so reference semantics means there is a relationship between the word and the object. So what semantic reference means is that when we see an object, namely a cat, our eyes will see and be processed into the brain. Then our brain will create a concept like like this is animal, have a foreleg, have fur and mustard, and eat fish. And then the concept in our brain akan melahirkan objek. Nah, kemudian dengan adanya objek, maka akan lahirlah simbol kata cat yang di dalam bahasa Indonesia itu artinya kucing, and then di dalam bahasa Jerman Katze, dan di dalam bahasa Spanish is gato. Okay. Why the line is intermittent? Because in the object memiliki simbol yang berbeda-beda sesuai dengan particular language atau di dalam bahasa tertentu. Seperti contohnya tadi, yaitu di dalam bahasa Jerman, kucing disebut dengan kata Katze. Jadi singkatnya, dalam bahasa yang berbeda-beda, maka simbolnya juga akan berbeda-beda. Next. Okay, the next material is about sense semantic. Sense semantic is defined as its relation to other expression in the language system. Thus, they are words that have a sense but not the real word. Other words may differ in sense but not necessarily in reference and vice versa. Sense semantic is divided into six branches. They are synonym, antonym, hyponym, homonym, polysemy, and meronymy. Next, the first one is synonym. Synonym semantics is refers to word with the same or nearly the same meaning as another word. Same LCA or word equation. Example is tall same as high, same as terrible. We can best define synonym by saying the relation in which two or more words are in variation in all or more contexts. The closest we come to absolute synonym is when the synonym belong to different dialect as with British usage and US usage. In the British usage, musim gugur we can call with autumn, as usage we can call with fall. The next example is where in the British usage we can call with pavement and then in uses we can call walk. But we must be careful of the slight difference between the synonyms. Not synonym most word fits in all situations. The example is small is not exactly the same as a tiny. You have to consider some factor. Next, okay, this antonym. Antonym in semantic is refers to words that have opposite meaning. They are usually in a pairs. Antonym define differences. They are implicitly complementary and converseness. Implicit antonym refers to pair of items such as big and small, and young, good and bad, young and old. And thus, when we say that one part is bigger than another, we imply that big is not be understood in the context of place. This accounts for the apparent paradox of a big fly being smaller than a small dog because small in the latter context means small when compared with other dogs. The second is complementary. Complementary refers to existence of such a pair as male and female. It is characteristic of such pair that the denial of one implies the of assertion of the other. This is one is not male, then one is certainly female, and the another example dead and alive. The dead are definitely not live, and the live are definitely not dead. And the last but not least is converseness. The relationship that holds between such a related pair of sentences, and the example is John sold it, I bought it from John. Next. Okay, the next material will be experienced Dina.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. So right now I'll explain about hyponym semantics. So what is hyponym semantics? Hyponym semantics is the lexical relation described in English by the phrase kind or type or sort of. So for example, I'll give you here is cat, dog, and fox. And in this um, example, animal as a hyponym and cat, dog, fox as a hyponym. So cat, dog, and fox is the kind of animal. So that's called hyponym in semantics. When we say this is a cat or this is an animal, it's also true because cat is the kind of animal. So let's see the next slide, please. And then second, let's talk about homonym semantics. So homonym semantics is a word that has the same name, spelling, sound, but has different meaning. So I'll give you the example here in the next slide. Okay, I have two sentences here. First is we can save money in the bank, and then in the second sentence, a tree is growing on the bank. So we can see that there is a word that has the same name, spelling, and sound, and it is bank. So let's take a look into the first sentence. So we can save money in the bank. The bank here is refers to financial services. So how do we know that the bank is refers to financial services? We can know it from the context of the sentence. So the context of the sentence is we can save money. So money is more. It makes sense if we assume that the bank in this sentence is financial services because it is related to money. But in the second sentence, a tree is growing on the bank. The bank here is refers to riverside. So we know it from the context of the sentence. A tree is growing on. So the place that possibly to growing a tree is of course a riverside, not a financial services. So we can different the meaning of the word from from the context of the sentence. So when you see the same word has the same spelling, name, and sound, so you can know what it is mean from the context of the sentence. Next, and then polysemy semantics. So polysemy comes from two words. First is poly and second is semi. So poly means many and semi means meaning. And its main polysemy is the same word which has related meaning. So next, I'll give you the example. Okay, let's watch this video together.
Who is it?
Look at the hand and figure it yourself, Alex.
What hand? My hand?
No, the hand of the clock. Hey, what's the commotion about? Oh, hey, Milman, I didn't know you were here.
Well, I heard a commotion. What was it all about?
Well, I was asking Gloria for the time, and she asked me to look at my hand. I didn't know my hand can tell the time.
I wasn't referring to your hand. I was referring to the hand of the clock.
You have hands? And you mean that hands has many meanings?
Alex, the word hand does not only refer to your hands. It can refer to many other. Oh, Alex, let me show you what I mean. Now, when you mentioned my hand, you were actually referring to a different type of hand. Now, kids, what do you think Alex was referring to? That Alex was actually referring to the hand, which is a part of his body at the end of the arm, which is used for holding, moving, touching, and feeling things. There you go, look at the picture here. This is what he was referring to. Now, what do you think I was when I said no, the hand of the clock? You got it right. What I was referring to was the long thin pieces that points to the numbers of a clock or a watch. Yeah, this is what I was referring to, Alex. So you can see the word hand has two meanings here. Now, one refers to the part which we may use to point, and the other will refer to the pieces of a clock which is used to point to the time.
Okay, guys, so that's it. The example. I'm sorry. So that's it. The example of polysemy semantics. Right now, let's move to meronymy semantics. So meronymy is the part of whole relationship between lexical items. So in this theory, we can see it from X is part of Y. So to make you more understand, let's watch the video in the next slide.
Meronymy is a station based on the notion of inclusion. It describes a part-whole relationship between lexemes. For example, nose and mouth can be read as parts or meronyms of face, the so-called holonym. Meronymy is similar to hyponymy in that it reflects a hierarchical relationship between lexical items. However, meronymy is not inclusion as a whole, but in terms of part-whole relationships. A nose is not a kind, but a part of a face, and an apple is not a part, but a kind of a fruit. Hence, meronymy is a part-whole relation, hyponymy one of inclusion.
Okay, so that's all about my presentation. For the next presentation will be continued by my friend.
Okay, thank you, Dina, for this next chapter will be explained by me. It's about sentence semantics that is divided into three branches, and that is proposition, entailment, and predicate logic. Next. Okay, for the first section is about proposition. What is proposition?
What is proposition?
Sorry. According to in 2010, in the books of Cambridge Introduction to Linguistics, proposition is an element that acts as the premise or conclusion of an argument. So, according to Charles Cradler, of introducing English semantics, proposition contains certain and same information that can be presented in different sentences and in parts of sentences that is presented apart from the way it is. Next. Okay, this is the example of proposition. I have a sentence in they talk in the office. So they talk in the office show that this is a single proposition. And and they don't talk in the office. So this is the negation of the proposition. Proposition can be expressed in different sentences. For example, John take down a vase. And it can be expressed in different sentences, like John take a vase down. This two sentence has the same meaning, but they expressed it in different sentences. Next. Okay. For this next explanation, I have 4 sentences that convey the same message and they express the same proposition. For the first one is Katie drank a cola. The second one, Katie is the one who drank a cola. And for the third one is a cola was drank by Katie. And the fourth is a cola is what Katie drank. For sentences express a single proposition and the same proposition. Okay, what is the difference from these 4 sentences? These 4 sentences are in the focus. For the second and the third sentence, it's emphasis to Kathy that Kathy is the one who drank the cola. And for fourth sentence, it emphasizes the cola that the cola was drank by Kathy. And for the first sentence, it has particular focus. And according to the books I read, a proposition have a focus. So for the proposition is sentences because it has no focus. So Kathy drank a cola, the proposition, and for the third and for the second and third and also the fourth sentence, it is it is the same message, the first proposition. Okay, next. I a proposition that I have that contains two proposition and tell us two things. So the sentence is, he drank a cola and Mary did too. So this sentence contains two proposition that is, Kathy drank a cola and also Mary did. Why this is contain two propositions? Because it show two different sentence, but expressed in a way. Like Kathy drank a cola is clearly expressed, but Mary did too is expressed through the function words did and do. So how can we know that Mary did the same thing with Kathy is by the words did and do. And also a proposition expressed with differences of focus but always with the same basic meaning. Jadi suatu proposisi itu akan bisa diungkapkan dalam kalimat yang ataupun kalimat yang sama tetapi dalam makna dasar yang sama. Next. Okay, jadi okay, so proposition symbolized by the by P, and I have a sentence that is, the dog is dirty. This is one proposition symbolized by P, and then we have dirty and it is wounded. Okay, so this sentence contains two propositions that symbolize, for the first sentence symbolized by P, by small p, and for the second sentence symbolized by the small q. And also, how can we know this sentence contains two propositions by the conjunction and? If there is a conjunction, it is contained two propositions. The dog is dirty, it is wounded, and it is at the pet care. So this sentence contains more than two conjunction, and for the first sentence, symbolized by p, by small p, and for the second sentence, symbolized by small q, and third sentence symbolized by small r. Also, if there are more than three propositions, we can symbolize the next as small s. So why the third is symbolized small by letter, because it expressed the same meaning. The dog is dirty, it is wounded, and it is on the pet care. So bahwa the dog sedang mengalami sesuatu dan itu saling berhubungan satu sama lain. Next. Okay, for this next material will be explained by my friends Windu. Windu, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ariska. So now I will to continue the next material. So the next material is about entailment. What is entailment? Entailment is a logical relationship between proposition and another proposition. Also, is the relation between proposition where the truth of the first is the truth of the second. P entails Q if whenever P is true, Q must be true. So we can illustrate the entailment like the triangle. So entailment have a logical relationship between the one proposition is denotation by P and then with a proposition it's denotation by Q. So to you understand what is entailment, so here I provided a example. So entailment can be used for example, the proposition one is all books are white, and then another proposition not books that is not white. He entails, and then entailment also used for contradiction. For example, proposition one books are white, and another proposition my book is blue. So it's not entails to Q because it's contrast. Okay, for the last one is inclusion. Inclusion is unidirectional entailment. That the hubungannya searah. For example, Rose saw a bear. Another proposition, Rose saw an animal. So it is true. Is Rose saw an animal? What Rose seen is a bear. Change the of the two sentence. For example, Rose saw an animal, and another proposition is Rose saw a bear. She could have seen a bear, but not necessarily. It could have been, for example. And then next to the and then next material is predicate logic. So predicate logic is a branch logic that studies the logical of propositions, expressions of individual constant, predicate, and quantifiers. So here the structure of the predicate logic. Predicate is denotation by P, and the predicate have an argument. The X, its denotation for argument. For example, Smith like Sharon. So the word like is the predicate logic, and then Smith and its argument. So here I provided the extra example. Carly is the older sister of Christy. So which are argument and the predicate? So we so the older sister of is the predicate logic, and then Carly and Christy is a argument. So we can say Carly is the older sister of Christy, or Christy is the older sister of Carly. Well, that's all about my explanation. And then the next material will be explained by my friends, Eriska. Eriska, time is yours.
Okay, so after all explanation, we can take, we can study and why we should learn semantic. we should learn semantic is to further our understanding of how the relationship between the words and structure of a sentence can affect a meaning. And second one is to try and find a more comprehensive definition of meaning, which truly cover the concepts. And here is the research that related to semantics. It's entitled "The Effects of Semantics in the Language Development of English as a Foreign Language Learners." So that's all about my explanation and conclusion. And I give my time back to Dina. Dina, time is yours.
Okay, thank you everyone. So that's all about our presentation. Sorry if we made a mistake. Thank you for watching and goodbye.